Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to start with the 10th class chemistry and physics. Here, chapter number 4, refraction of light at curved surfaces is going to be continued. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about the series 6 of this unit number 4. Earlier, we completed series 1 to 5 and a detailed explanation for this unit number 4. And apart from this, even unit number 1, 2, 3, 5 of this 10th class chemistry and physics are available on the channel called World of Competitive Chemistry. This kind of discussion will fetching you towards a proper understanding of this concept of 10th class chemistry and physics, and also will give some kind of information regarding how to perform the activity and all this. I collected all this information from encyclopedia and also Topper's Choice and also Byju's. So thank you very much for giving the information for all these. And let us enter into our today's concept. Earlier, we completed example number 1 with the relevance of refraction of light. So now we entered into example number 2. Example number 2 is given as a transparent sphere of radius r. Here you can clearly observe this is a kind of circle where the sphere of a sphere having radius r will be taken. Its refractive index is n. Its refractive index was taken as n, and it is kept in the air. At what distance from the surface of the sphere should be the point object to be placed on the principal axis so as to form the real image at the same distance from the second surface of the sphere? Okay, so what we are doing, at what distance from the surface of sphere should be the point of object to be placed in the principal axis, right? So real image at the same distance from the second surface of the sphere. So here, what we are doing, we are taking the radius r and the object was kept at a particular distance. What is the distance of image to be calculated? Image distance, real image distance to be calculated by using this kind of example. Let us go with. So from the symmetry of figure E2, where rays must pass through the sphere parallel to the principal axis. Here, with respect to the principal axis, we are generating rays which are parallel with respect to this principal axis originated from the object, right? So these parallel rays are used to converge at the point, then only here image formation is possible, right? So in accordance with this diagram, the values u is equal to minus x. U is nothing but the distance between the pole point and the object. That is called object distance, which is denoted with u, whose value is given as minus x, and v, that to be predicted and taken as the infinite, that is placed at the infinite distance. Refracted rays parallel to the optical axis of the after the refraction at a first surface. So it is kept at infinite distance. Now, n1 is nothing but refractive index of the given incident light when it is present in the air. So that is the rarer medium, and n2 is nothing but refractive index of the given refracted light when it is present in the another second medium. Let us consider it as a water, right? So n1 value is taken as 1 and n2 value is taken as n. So here, if all these values u, v, n1, n2, all these values are known to us, it is possible to substitute or just derive the equation in the previous series. This is the equation we got derived in the previous series. What's the relation? N2 by v is equal v minus n1 by u is equal to n2 minus n1 by r. So here n2, n1 are nothing but refractive indices in air and water are two different medium which are interfering with each other. And VU stands for what? V is nothing but object or image. It is the image distance from the pole point. U is the object distance from the pole point. R is nothing but the radius which is provided, and all the values are known to us. Let us substitute all the known values. What are the known values? U is equal to minus x, V is equal to infinity, N1 is taken as a 1 and N2 is taken as n. So here, if we substitute all these values, n2 is given as n, right? So that here n by, then what is the v value? That is infinity. N by infinity minus n1. What is the n1 value? 1. Minus 1 by, here, what is the value of this second u? U is, that is minus x, is equal to n2 value is n. So here I wrote n minus n1. N1 value is 1. N1 value is 1. N minus 1 by r. So this is the substituted equation. So if any terminology, if you are considering mathematics, if the infinite value is present in the denominator, 1 by infinite always is equal to 0. Any term by 0 will become entire 0 only. So n by infinity, this entire term will become 0. Then 1 minus 1 by minus x is there. Minus into minus, it will become plus. So that 1 by x, it will be is equal to n minus 1 by r. N minus 1 by r. So this is the equation. Now you can inverse the entire equation. We are taking x in the denominator. Let us put forward. So that x is equal to, denominator will come up and r by n minus 1. X is equal to r by n minus 1. This is the equation we are getting. From this, what is the conclusion? Object distance from the first surface sphere. Object distance, that only we are going to calculate. So from the first surface sphere is taken as x is equal to r by n minus 1. So this is the thing we need to calculate from this one. Here objective distance was given and image distance to be calculated for the first surface sphere, that is calculated as x is equal to r by n minus 1, right? So this is the derivation part. Now let us move on to another example. One more example we are going to discuss with relevance with this derived equation. A transparent glass sphere has a small opaque dot on its center. Does the apparent position of dot appears to be the same as the actual position when observed from the outside? We are taking the glass sphere here. Circle was taken, that is the glass one, and it is highly transparent in nature. From at the exact center, you pointed one dot. So that apparent of the position of dot appears to be same as the actual position when you are observing from the outside. So if you are seeing inside, that is exactly at the center. When we are seeing from the outside, being it is a transparent one, you are seeing outside, you are seeing from the outside. Is it looking at the same distance? If you are seeing from the right side, left side, or top side, bottom side, in different directions, you are going to observe the center of the dot present in this opaque glass sphere, right? So what will be the change in position, or any change in position is possible or not possible? Let us discuss. For that purpose, here let the refractive index of the glass n1 is taken as n, and refractive index of air. So here glass is one medium, being it is a solid medium whose refractive index is taken as the n1, that is given as a n. In case of air, always refractive index is taken as 1 only, right? Then objective distance denoted with u, that is given as minus r. Always sign convention towards this object will be taken as minus, and this minus r denotes what? Radius of the sphere, right? So here object is placed at the center, and from the center you are going to draw the line till the surface of this mirror, so that it will be appeared like a r called the radius of the sphere. So being it is away from the pole point, so that you can introduce the sign convention as a negative. U is taken as a minus r. Then radius of curvature as r is equal to the value again minus r, because radius of curvature, because here objective value is taken as r, and even radius of curvature is also taken as r. So here again, here minus r will be taken. These are the known values. N1 is equal to n, N2 is equal to 1, U is equal to minus r, R is equal to minus r. All these values are known to us. Let us substitute in our equation. Just now we got the derivation part of this one. N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by R. This is the actual equation what we got derived in the previous session, right? So, and we got the application for this only. So we are extending this equation in different examples, right? So here, let us substitute N2. N2 value is the refractive index of 8, that is taken as 1, and V remains as such, that is the image distance. N1 value is taken as refractive index in the glass medium, that is N, and U is nothing but object distance whose value is minus R. Then N2 is 1, N1 is N, 1 minus N by R value is taken as minus R. Again, R is nothing but radius of the sphere, that is taken as minus R. Okay, so if we substitute all these values, we have to concise this equation. Simplifying this equation, how it will be? 1 by R minus into minus, it will become plus. So 1 by V plus N by R is equal to So we can take the reciprocal of this because all the values are in negative terms. So always it is preferable to take in the positive so that it can be 1 minus n can be reversed in the such a manner n minus 1, and minus r can be reversed into plus r. Entire term is inverted so that there is no change in accordance with the mathematics fundamentals. So that 1 by f plus n by r is equal to n minus 1 by r can be taken. So this is a simplified equation. After solving this, so if you are extending this equation, finally we will get v is equal to minus r. So finally we will get v is equal to minus r. So v is nothing but what? Image distance, that is taken as a minus r value. So already you know u value, that means object distance is minus r, and after the entire derivation, image distance also taken as minus r. What is the conclusion from this? From this, the conclusion is image distance and object distance both are identical. Whatever the direction you are observing from the different orientations, right side, left side, top side, bottom side, in every angle you can find the dot at the center of the sphere only, because here object distance is minus r and image distance is also minus r. Both the what we can say, both the distances are exactly identical in nature, right? Thus we can say that image distance and the object distance are equal, and apparent position dot is the same at its actual position. So the dot is present at the center of that sphere. So even you are looking from in all possible direction, that appears at the same place without any change in its position, because after the derivation we got the same kind of answer for object as well as image distance. It is independent of the refractive index of material sphere. Refractive index of one air is different and glass is different. Even though both are different, after substituting their own values, we got v is equal to minus r again, so that it will not be varied, right? So now new concept is going to be introduced. Till now we discussed about concave lens and convex lens. Even in the unit 1 and in this unit 4, refraction and reflection, in both the process we discussed about concave and convex lens only. Here new topic is going to be introduced, that is both the sides. So this is the system called bulged outside, called convex lens. So if you are having curvature inside, so that is curvature is there, parabola is there, that is said to be a concave lens. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about both the sides we are having curved surface. So that is nothing but biconvex or biconcave. These are the lenses we are going to observe now. Till now we have discussed the refraction of light at the single curved surface, that may be concave or convex. Either of the lens can be used in order to apply in our daily life. Let us suppose that transparent material has two curved surfaces. Two curved surfaces either bulged outside in both the directions or curved inside in the both the directions. Bulged outside in the both the directions is said to be a biconvex, and the curved inside is said to be a biconcave lens. Okay, this is a new concept going to be introduced. Till now we discussed about only half of the part got bulged or half of the part get curvature inside, right? So this is the concept going to be discussed now. So and the next question which is posed here, what happens to the light ray when the transparent material with the two curved surfaces placed in its path, right? Let us repeat the question again. What happens to the light ray transparent material where the two curved surfaces is placed in its path? Okay, so that means these two curved surfaces lens was placed when that light ray is passing. What happens? What is the change in its path? We have to see. When a light ray passes from less dense material is nothing but air, let us assume, into a denser material, that may be either glass or water. So water may be a liquid, glass may be a solid, but when compared to the air, both are denser only, right? It always participate in bending, because from one phase to another phase, light will change its path with a certain angle. That is the process said to be a refraction. So what we are doing, light is moving in the particular path, and we are inserting two curved surfaces containing lens in the path of that light. What happens? It used to bend. because the process called a refraction. So there is a change. So if you are inserting that lens, that is the glass material, being it is the solid, there is a possibility of bending of light, because when it changes from one material to another material, always bending of light is possible by the process called refraction. This means that in this situation, angle of refraction will be generated. So when the light is moving in the normal path, that is the incident light angle will be there, and after the refraction, that used to generate the angle called a refraction angle, right? So when we compare angle of incidence and angle of refraction, so that is given here. Always angle of incidence will be larger when compared to angle of refraction, right? So this is the observation which is given by the practical experience. Angle of incidence always greater than angle of refraction, right? So this is possible when we are inserting a lens when the light is moving in its regular path. So there is a curvature, bending because of the refraction, and the angle generated will be a lower when compared to the incident light, right? So now let us move on to another question. Have you heard about lenses? What is meant by lens? So this magnifying lens is the simplest example for this one. A lens is a transmissive optical device that focuses or disperses. So either light rays used to focus at a particular point, or from the focusing point they may diverge in the different directions. There are two probabilities are there. When the lens is kept in the path of light, so all the light rays used to converge at particular point. Otherwise, converged light may be dispersed in different direction. Prism is the best example for dispersing or diverging the light rays, right? So here conversion of light is possible by using this magnifying glass. In both the cases, we are using this glass apparatus called a lens only, right? The lens is a transmissive optical device that focuses or disperses a light beam by means of refraction. Okay, in both the cases, refraction get carried. A simple lens consists of a single piece of transparent material. So here simple lens and also in either compound lens, both are possible. They can be classified into two types. Simple lens is nothing but made up of only single type of material. Compound lens is nothing but made up of combination of different lenses. So that is also possible, right? So this is the simplest example for the lens definition and various type of lenses what we are applying in our daily life. So this is only one side curvature containing lens, that is called a convex lens, and second is called a concave lens where we have a parabola inside. So this is called a concave lens, and this is another kind of lens where two sides bulging is there, which is said to be a biconvex lens, and this is the lens with the two sides curvature inside, that is said to be a biconcave lens. This kind of all possibilities are there, and they are used to apply in our daily life also. This is the simplest example for lens. And another question, we are moving into another question. How does a light ray behave when it is passing through a lens? So what happens when light ray is allowed to enter into a lens? What kind of changes you can observe? As a ray of light enters into the lens, it got refracted. The process called the bending of light is called a refraction. Lens is nothing but solid material made up of glass. So here, light is moving from the air to this glass or solid, so that bending of light is possible. And as same ray of light exists in the lens, again refracted again. So if we are having two sides a curvature outside, so here refraction takes place at the surface and also at the outer region. So in both the regions you can observe such kind of bending of light. Because of special geometric shape of the lens, the light rays are refracted in such a way, and they used to converge at the point called a focal point, and at that position you will get the image of that particular light ray which is originated from the source. Here you can observe a image of the corresponding light ray which is coming from the source. So this is a consequence of light when passing through the lens. Okay. So by this we completed this series. Hope this session will helpful for your preparation. Thank you very much for your consistent listening. Thank you one and all.